नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय ततालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा Ram Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha. Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Devi Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Gaura. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद श्रील अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाशय की जय। श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास गुरुनाथ की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा देवी जमुना देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind association. We are continuing our study of Shri Bhagavad Gītā, which is the most important foundational spiritual textbook for all of us. It is spoken by the highest authority, Lord Shri Krishna. We are studying the third chapter of Bhagavad Gītā. There are 18 chapters. We are studying the third chapter. And the third chapter is called Karma Yoga. Karma means activity. And Yoga means to connect with Krishna. So Karma Yoga, if Karma means activity and Yoga means to connect with Krishna, what does Karma Yoga mean? Karma means work and Yoga means to connect with Krishna. Perfect. So Karma Yoga means to connect with Krishna through work, through action. That is Karma Yoga. So what is the meaning of Dhyana Yoga? Use the same definition. Dhyan means to meditate. So Dhyana Yoga means connecting with Krishna through meditation. Ashtanga Yoga means there are 8 processes starting with Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam to connect with Krishna through these bodily postures and exercises, controlling the body and the mind. So in this way, there is Dhyan Yoga, there is Karma Yoga, there is Gyan Yoga. What is the meaning of Gyan Yoga? Gyan means knowledge. Yoga means to connect with Krishna. So Gyan Yoga means to connect with Krishna through scriptural knowledge. So in this way, there are different paths of yoga. Yoga means to connect with Krishna. And there are different ways to connect with Krishna. What does Bhakti Yoga mean? Through Bhakti. And it is the ultimate. So now we are reading Karma Yoga, connecting with Krishna through work. You both go to school? Sal, you go to school, right? So in school you work, isn't it? You study, you have assignments, you have homework. See, work, homework. You come home with some homework. Work means karma. So this chapter is going to teach us how we can do our homework for Krishna. Homework to please Krishna. That sounds interesting? So we are going to read from verse number 19. So Aparna Mataji, our Aparna Mataji has now become Ananga Sundari Mataji. She recently got initiated in Florida, Alachua. So Ananga Sundari Mataji. Ananga Sundari Mataji will be reading the verses.
Tasmadasattah satatam karyam karma samachara asatto vyacharam karma paramapnoti purushaha.
You can read the translation also, Mataji.
Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme.
So Krishna is telling Arjun, and through Arjun, Krishna is telling all of us that how we should work, how we should do our homework. We should do our homework as a matter of duty. It's our duty. The teacher has given homework. So we must do homework. We have got the job, right? IT job. So we have to do it. It's our duty. Duty means we have to do it nicely. Like taking care of patients is my duty. Taking care of the IT needs is your duty. Taking care of Danta is Ananga Sundari Mataji's duty. She also takes care of Vedanta and also Danta, both. She has a dual degree. As Ananga Sundari Mataji, she knows the Vedanta because she is follower of Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada. So we all have our duties. Ayansh, you have duty? What's your duty? School also, right? August 1st, your duty will start. So all of us have duties. You have some duty, beta? Yes, we all have duty. There is nobody who doesn't have duty. Everybody has duty. We have our own duties. Except Sia. Sia's duty is a smile. Smita Sia. Yes. So Krishna is saying we should do our duty. As a matter of, we should do our work as a matter of duty. So duty means we have to do it seriously. So we should take our work seriously. We should take our homework seriously. But Krishna is saying, without being attached to the result of the activities. Fruit of the activity means result of the activity. Which means, let's say, Sal, you do your homework nicely. You do to the best of your ability. The way teacher taught, you can take help from Mumma. But let's say you don't get top marks in the class. Then Krishna is saying, you don't worry because you did your best. As a matter of duty, you did your best. Now, whatever grade we get, whatever marks we get, that is up to Krishna. That we cannot control. What is our duty? To do our best. And then to Krishna, we leave the rest. Okay? So do our best, and unto Krishna, you leave the rest. Did that rhyme, Maithili? Did that rhyme? You're doing your duty. She's Nailovorous. So we should do our duty without attachment. We should not get disturbed. Others, sometimes people, they get so attached to the result. I have to come first in class. And then when they don't, they get depressed. They get depressed. And therefore, not so much in US, but in India, we have seen in our hostel, actually 2 boys from my batch, we were 200 kids. Only 197 graduated. 1 died of tuberculosis and 2 committed suicide. At Grand Medical College, JJ Hospital, Bombay, we were a batch of 200 kids. 3 did not make it through the 5.5 years of MBBS. So 2 committed suicide. And one of them, I was the one to open the room. So why? Because they didn't get good grades. They were very disturbed. So this happens because we get very attached to our expectations. But Krishna is, if this verse 19, we understand, nobody will commit suicide. Krishna is saying, we do work in this world as a matter of duty, but we don't get attached to the results of the duty. Results is with Krishna. It is not our department only. If it is not our department, we don't worry about it so much, right? For example, if there is a leak in the swimming pool, will you get worried about it? No. It is the department of those who maintain the swimming pool. So whose department it is, that person will worry about it. The result is not our department, Krishna is. It is Krishna's department. So we do our best, and unto Krishna, we leave the rest. Did that rhyme, Vaidili? This time? Okay, so in the purport, a couple of sentences down, Srila Prabhupada says, Arjun is told that he should fight in the... Hold on. Did we do Mangalacharan? No. We forgot. So let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Tadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuse Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So purport to verse number 19 by our beloved Srila Prabhupada. 2 sentences down, 2-3 sentences down. Arjun is told that he should fight in the battle of Kurukshetra for the sake of Krishna, because Krishna wanted Arjun to fight. So did Arjun want to fight in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita? No. He gave 6 reasons. We saw them in the first discussion. He gave 6 reasons why he didn't want to fight. It is sinful. How can I kill my grandfather, my teacher who have brought me up? It will create such a massive massacre of so many men, so many ladies will become widows, so many children will become fatherless. I don't want to do all this. But because Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, Karna, Dushasan, Shakuni, they were holding power and they were very sinful people. So Krishna wanted a change of government. So there was a war. So that example Srila Prabhupada is giving, that Arjun didn't want to fight, but he is going to fight. Why? Because Krishna wants it. So for whose sake he is doing it? That is Karma Yoga. To do work for Krishna. When we do something for ourselves, that is called Karma Kand. So there is a difference between Karma Kand and Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is to connect with Krishna. Karma Kand means fruitive activity. You do something because you want to enjoy the result of that action. Then go to next verse, verse number 20.
Translation. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. So Lord Krishna is saying in verse number 19 that we just read, that do your work as a matter of duty for my sake. Don't be attached to the results. And by doing this, you will attain perfection. So what is the immediate question? The example again. Is there some example like that? Krishna, can you give some example? That just by doing a duty properly, somebody attain perfection? Krishna understands what is going to come in our mind. So immediately in the next verse, Krishna gives the answer. That yes, there is an example. And how many examples are there in this verse? Ādi. Janak Ādi. There are many such kings. मतलब उसके अंदर सब बाकी अम्बरीश महाराज भी आ गए, परीक्षित महाराज भी आ गए, युधिष्ठिर महाराज बड़े भाई भी आ गए. इसीलिए ही कृष्णा says in Gītā, Vibhuti Yoga, that among the Pandavas I am. Among the Pandavas, he says, I am Dhananjay. And our Acharyas explain why. Why not Yudhishthir? वो तो बड़े भाई है. He should say, I am Yudhishthir. So our Acharya said this is very sweet. When Krishna said, among the Pandavas I am, Arjun took it for granted that Yudhishthir Maharaj. जिनके हम सेवक हैं. Krishna is going to say Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Krishna understood that Arjun is thinking Yudhishthir. He was very pleased with the humility. So he said Dhananya. Dhanyata. Humility is very dear to Krishna. So yes, so Yudhishthir Maharaj is included. All the great kings are included. Dashrath Maharaj is included. So Janak Ādi, therefore the word Adaya is used. Janak Ādi. There are great kings in the past like Maharaj Janak, for example, who performed their duties nicely. Nicely. Now your duty was to switch off that phone, correct? Which you did. Nobody told you to get up. You immediately got up and you turned it off so that others don't get disturbed. It's very good. You are like Janak Maharaj. You are like Janaki. Very nice. So why do they now? A question comes that if someone is a pure devotee, does that person want anything of this world, material world? No. But they also do duty. Is Janak Maharaj self-realized? Yes. Is Janak Maharaj pure devotee? Yes. Does Janak Maharaj want anything of this material mundane world? No. It is described in Padma Purana, Uttarakhand. When Janak Maharaj winds up his pastimes, he is going back to the spiritual world. So he's going and he says, I want to meet all the Mahajans before I go. So he's also himself one of the Mahajans. He goes to Yamlok also. The story is there in Padma Purana. He goes to Yamlok to meet Yamaraj. And he's having two Mahajans are discussing some Tattva Siddhanta. They're talking about Krishna very nicely. And Yamaraj notices that all the people who are in their Yatana Sharir, who are being punished in hell for their sinful activities, they're one by one getting 4-armed forms and going to Vaikuntha. They're supposed to be punished. And just as the wind is blowing, the breeze from the body of Janak Maharaj goes, and as soon as it touches those sinful people, they get 4-armed forms and they're getting delivered. So Siya was wondering, kaise? Because she's a daughter, no? So seeing this, Yamaraji was wondering, what is happening? I'm supposed to punish them. So he asks Maharaj Janak, what is happening? So then it is revealed to Yamaraji that Janak Maharaj is such a pure devotee that what to speak of if he glances, if he prays for somebody, if he touches somebody, forget that. Just if the breeze from his body goes and touches somebody, that person attains liberation. He's such a powerful devotee. Therefore, Srila Narottam Thakur says, Darshane Pavitra Karo, Eito Margo. That Vaishnava doesn't have to do anything. Just by we taking a darshan of a pure devotee, we become purified. Darshane Pavitra Karo, Eito Margo. So many times we go in Sadhu Sangha, we say, oh, Maharaj didn't talk to me. We go to Alachua, Maharaj didn't talk to me personally. Did you see Maharaj? Yes. Bas. Baat ban gayi. Just by taking darshan of a pure devotee, we become purified. Darshane Pavitra Karo, Eito Margo. Mataji, did you have darshan of Shripad Vaisheshika Maharaj when he came to Atlanta? Bas. Your life is perfect. It's a question of our faith and the purity of the Vaishnava. Just by taking darshan of Janak Maharaj, these people are being whipped, they are being boiled in oil, they are being punished in hell, and they see that this Janak Maharaj has come. Just by seeing him, they are getting liberated. So then Yamaraji says, my service is getting affected. I think you proceed. Aap Vaikunt ja rahe the na, aap jaiye. Yamaraji says, there are so many people suffering here. Somebody is being bitten by insects. Somebody is being kicked. Somebody is being whipped. Somebody is being boiled in the hot oil. How can I leave them and go? A Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. How can I leave them and go? I want to liberate all of them. So can I do that? So Yamaraji says, you are Mahajan, what can I say? You are Lord Ram's Sasurji. What can I tell you? So Janak Maharaj closes his eyes and he says, every moment I remember Lord Ram. Every moment I remember Lord Ram. He said, today morning also when I woke up, I stretched myself. Jai Siya Ram. I just stretched myself and I said, Jai Siya Ram. Janak Maharaj says, every moment I have done this, I have remembered Ram. But today morning when I woke up, as soon as I woke up, I did Smaran. I remembered Ram. That one moment of remembrance of Ram, I want to give to all these people. And as soon as Janak Maharaj said that, each and everyone in hell, they got Vaikunthavas. By Janak Maharaj giving the credit of his one moment of remembrance of Ram. Such is the power of bhakti. Because think about it, can bhakti be calculated in terms of punya karma? Like, एक अश्वमेध यज्ञ करो इतना पुण्य मिलेगा, कुछ होता है specific. एक अग्निहोत्र करो इतना पुण्य मिलेगा. Can you count the power of one Ram Naam, one Krishna Naam? Because it is not material, it is spiritual. How can you calculate the value of something spiritual in terms of material things? Currency match नहीं होती. Currency doesn't match. So for example, if kids are playing with the Monopoly game, you know Monopoly game, it has currency, right? Money. It has notes, no? At least in India, we used to play business. It had those rupees. So does Monopoly have dollars? I have never played Monopoly, so I don't know. Maithili? It has dollars, right? Sal, dollars it has? Okay. If I give you those Monopoly dollars and I tell you, go to Best Buy and get me a laptop. Can you? Will they accept that currency of Monopoly? No. It's a fake currency. Okay, let me get 2 Monopoly games and give me currency from 2 games. Can you give me a laptop? No. Three Monopoly games, 1 laptop, real laptop? No. Why? Because it doesn't match. That currency it will work in Monopoly. Punya karma works in this material world. It has nothing to do with the spiritual world. So one Krishna Naam cannot be purchased by any amount of material wealth. It is invaluable. So he gave the power of one moment of Smaran of Ram to all of them, and it was enough to take them to Vaikuntha, beyond this material world. The result of remembrance of Krishna is we go to Vaikuntha. Nothing can stop. It's a spiritual calculation. So very beautiful example of Janak Maharaj is given by the son-in-law himself. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport. I'm going to read it. Janak Maharaj was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Shri Ram. Being a great devotee of Lord Ram, Janak Maharaj was transcendently situated. But because he was the king of Mithila, which is a subdivision of Bihar state in India, he had to teach his subjects how to perform prescribed duties. Lord Krishna and Arjun, who is Krishna's eternal friend, had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. Dhruv Maharaj was given a whole planet. Yudhishthira Maharaj ko rajya karna hai. Krishna could have created a planet. Jao, Raj karo. Indra was thai na? एक और इंद्र बना दिया होता. वॉर करने की क्या आवश्यकता है? यहाँ पे आंसर है. The answer is given here. Lord Krishna and Arjun had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but they fought. Why? To teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. A lot of attempts were made to avoid the war. Krishna himself had become a messenger of peace and he had gone, remember? But Duryodhana did not accept. So think. So when there is no other solution, one has to take to war, violence, as a last resort. But it has a place. So Prabhupada says, although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in this material world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. And now this will be explained more in the subsequent verses. Mataji, please read 21, little loudly, so even Zoom audience can hear.
Yad yad acharati shreshthas-tattad evetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursue.
This is a very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Everybody should memorize this verse. Yad yad acharati shreshthas. Whatever actions a great person does, tat tat evetaro jana. Common men, the janta, common people will follow the actions of a great person. Sayat pramanam kurute, and whatever standard he sets, lokastad anuvartate. People will follow that standard. So I remember when I was growing up in our house, I came from a small town, Akola. So I didn't know English. And I had to improve my English because I was going to come to Bombay. So I asked somebody, how can I improve my English? I could not speak even one sentence in English properly. I could read, I could write, but conversational English, I was not comfortable at all. So someone told me you should read magazines and you should read the interview of film stars in the magazines. That way your English will become, you'll be able to speak in English. So I remember we had subscribed to Femina. My mother used to read Femina and Filmfare. I have drunk Femina and Filmfare like it's some Shastra. And whatever new word I used to find, I used to see the meaning in the dictionary, see the pronunciation guide and write it down in a diary. And I had like some 500, 600 words that I had learned. And I used to read the interview of all these film stars and see how they answer questions. And I used to verbatim learn sentences and try to apply them in real life. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. That is what Krishna is saying. Whatever great people do, common men follow. And I remember once somebody had asked one film star, what do you think about this? Something that we should not do. Something that we should not do. During initiation, we take a vow that I will not do this. So this hero, Bollywood hero, he said, oh, that is natural. And I love nature. Means do it a lot. And it was glorified, it was in bold letters in that film fair. So this thing is natural and I love nature. So I will do it as much as I want. So whatever great people say, it has an effect on ordinary people. Whatever leaders do, it has an effect on ordinary people. I'll give you an example. In Srimad Bhagavatam, when Romaharshan was giving Bhagavatam class, he did not stand up to offer respects to Balramji. Now Balramji would have overlooked. But Balramji punished Romaharshan in a way that the whole world will remember. Why? Because if the leader is behaving like that, tomorrow in another Bhagavatam class, nobody will stand up for Balramji or Krishna or their guru. And they will give praman. Arey, Romaharshan, he was giving Bhagavatam class. He didn't get up for Balramji. What to speak of my guru? I will not stand up for my guru. Balramji is Ādi Guru. He is the guru of all gurus, Jagat Guru. For him, if the Bhagavatam speaker did not stand up and offer respects, and that is allowed to pass, then it will become the standard. You see, that is the meaning. Yad yad acharati shreshthas tatta devetara. And I remember when I was in medical school, the president of a big country was found to have a scandal with an intern. You all know. And it was big news. For days it was going on. And something like that happened in India. And when the person was asked why you did such a thing, he said, oh, if the president of this country can get away with that, why not me? Yad yad acharati shreshthas tatta devetara. What great people, leaders of society do, that gets into the consciousness of the society. And that will become the standard. That is why Lord Ramchandra and Mother Sita, they made such a big sacrifice of getting separated from each other. Because what had happened was, Shri Sita was completely pure. And Lord Ramchandra wholeheartedly accepted her after Agni Pariksha to set an example for people that she is not impure, she is completely pure. But still some foolish people misused that as an excuse for their sinful activities. Some ladies were actually doing illicit things and then coming back home and saying, hey, you have to accept us. Ram accepted Sita back. She stayed for 1 year almost. I only went for 1 or 2 days. This was happening in Ayodhya. And to stop this nonsense, Lord Ram and Sita had to take a drastic step of getting separated. They sacrifice their own family life to set the right example for people. This is Yadid Acharati Shreshthas Tatta Devetaro Jana. Sayat Pramanam Kurute Loka Sudhanam Vartate. So with power comes responsibility. If we are famous, if we are in a leadership role, it's a powerful position. But what comes with power? Responsibility. To do the right thing, to teach the right thing, to represent the right thing. So the purport of Srila Prabhupada is brilliant. Srila Prabhupada says, a leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. I remember when I was doing my residency at Emory, the big thing was Obamacare. It was going to transform healthcare in America. So many people, I remember when I was doing my gastroenterology rotation, we did a colonoscopy on a patient because he came with bowel obstruction and we found a mass, we biopsied it, it showed rectal cancer. And we told him, get admitted, you need surgery. I still remember he was a Spanish construction worker who had come from Mexico, Hispanic guy. He said, Doc, I don't have insurance. I still remember the interpreter who was with me, Spanish interpreter, we were talking back and forth. I said, you have to get, and the hospital said, we will take care of him in emergency. Now he came with bowel obstruction, so we are going to take, we cannot refuse care. But the colon surgery is an elective procedure. It has to be done outpatient. He has to come through insurance. So we had to discharge him with a diagnosis. You've got cancer, just come back and do. But he had no insurance, he had no money. So poor guy could not come. And I remember I was on call one night, this was like 2 years later, and he comes in full-blown metastasis. He's got lymph nodes all over his liver, lungs, simply because he could not afford to get treatment. Where did I say this? What is the connection? A leader cannot teach. So this was the condition. This is the situation in America, where so many people, if they cannot afford health insurance, they don't have access to proper health care, unless it's an emergency. So Obamacare was going to change all this. Health insurance was going to become cheaper for those who cannot afford, and those who have money, their premiums were supposed to go up to pay for that. That's Obamacare, which is fine. But when Obamacare came, there was a lot of, you remember how it was a hot topic. The Republicans were saying, just do away with this, scrap it. And Democrats were saying, no, we should have Obamacare. And one of the big arguments, I remember one of my attendings who I rotated with was a Republican. And he was who was that other guy? A governor from Massachusetts who was running against Obama. McCain, no, not McCain. I'm forgetting. Anyway, I don't watch the news so much. But whoever that fellow was from Massachusetts, his big argument was Obama himself smokes and how he can talk about this Obamacare and healthcare and preventive care for everyone. And there were like flyers being circulated that the president, and they had some old photos of Obama smoking. Of course, I don't think he smoked when he was the president, but before that, there's some pictures of him smoking. So they're thinking, oh, if Obama is smoking, what right he has to talk about the healthcare of millions of people? He has no right. First, let him quit. Like that. That was the argument. So here Prabhupada is saying, a leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. So before one can preach, we have to follow what we are preaching. Otherwise, one has no right to preach. Can you all reflect and tell me what will happen if someone is preaching what he or she is not following? Like they say, walk your talk. What if someone is talking but not walking the talk? Yes? People will not take it seriously. Correct? Yes, people will not take it seriously. That's why Chitraketu laughed. He saw Lord Shiva with Mother Parvati sitting on his left lap, talking to sannyasis about Vairagya. And every so often he would look at Varanana, the beautiful faced wife, and he would give her an embrace and continue talking about Vairagya. So Chitraketu Maharaj saw that and he laughed. Said, what's going on? So people will not take seriously. If we are not, of course, Shankar Bhagwan, he's the Supreme Lord. He's following what he's teaching. He is not attached. And their relationship is not like the relationship of a man and a woman. The relationship of Mother Parvati Devi and Sri Shankar Bhagwan, it is the purest relationship. It's a spiritual relationship. In the material world, Krishna appears as Shankar Bhagwan and Radharani appears as Parvati Devi. This is there in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu says this, that in the Krishna of spiritual world appears in this material world as Shankar Bhagwan, and my Radharani appears as you, O Parvati Devi. Mahaprabhu is telling Parvati Devi. So their relationship is completely spiritual and pure, but for the people to understand. If one is not following what one is preaching, people will not take seriously. There is something else also that happens when we preach what we are not practicing. What is that? One is, as Maithili said, people will not take seriously. Somebody who is not correct. That is similar to what she said. There is no, we will not take it seriously. Correct.
It will feel like okay to do what they are doing.
It may set a wrong example and people may actually do the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what you are doing. So there's a proverb in English. Your actions are so loud that I cannot hear what you're speaking. But there's one more thing spiritually that happens. Yeah.
I have friends who tell me all these people who preach, they all are, bogus because they're doing all these bad things and they talk something else, and then all the stuff comes out, what they're doing and they're sitting in jail. So they have actually told me that I don't have any faith. Anyone who's wearing orange clothes, literally.
Yeah.
And I don't have any faith in anyone sitting on like a vyasa or talking about scripture.
Yeah, it brings a bad reputation. But spiritually, there is one thing that happens. When we preach what we are not practicing, those words don't have potency. Like it is said that purity is the force. Why Prabhupada had such power to make hippies into brahmacharis and brahmacharinis and make them chant, give up meat eating, intoxication. Prabhupada had that potency because he had purity. So these two things happen. First of all, our words will not carry the power. And second of all, people will not take it seriously. So it's not going to work. So therefore, Prabhupada says, a leader cannot teach what they are not practicing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that a teacher should behave properly before teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya, ideal teacher. Acharya means one who teaches by Acharya, by their own actions they teach. Verse 22, Mataji.
Na me parthasti kartavyam trishu lokesha kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties.
So Krishna is explaining the same thing, that for Krishna there is no need to work. But why Krishna is working in this world? He comes and he grazes the cows. He's doing the Vaishya Dharma. Then he goes to Dwarka. He does Kshatriya Dharma, Mathura and Dwarka. With Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjun, he does a Mitra Dharma, the relationship of a friend. He, as a husband, he performs his Grihastha Dharma. Why all this? To teach all of us and set an ideal example for all of us. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes very beautiful verses from Shvetashvatar Upanishad. So, repeat after me. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Devatam. Patim Patinam Paramam Parastad. Vidamadevam Bhuvanesham Idyam. Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate. न tat samaschabhyadhikascha drishyate parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Mahesh Maha Ishwaram. And he is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Tam Devatanam Paramam Chadaivatam. Everyone is under his control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme controllers themselves. Krishna is also worshipable by all the demigods, and he is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, he is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders. He is controller and is worshipped by all. There is no one greater than him, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a body like an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between Krishna's body and the soul. It's all spiritual. Krishna is absolute. All his senses are transcendental. Angani sakalendriya vritti mandi. Any one of his senses can perform the action of another sense. Therefore, no one is greater than him or equal to him. Asamurdhva. His potencies are multifarious. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. And thus his deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. Swabhaviki. That is Krishna. This is the words of Shvetashvatara Upanishad. This is Ved Vakya. Further down, Prabhupada says in the purport, one who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. Krishna has nothing to do with this material. He's completely spiritual. So are the pure devotees. They have no duty in this world. And yet, Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Why? Because he's setting the standard as the leader of the Kshatriyas. Because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Therefore, Krishna, to set an example, he's doing this. What happens if Krishna and the leaders don't set such an example? Verse 23.
Yadi hyaham na varteyam jatu karmanya tantritah mama vartmanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path.
If Krishna and the leaders don't perform their duties properly, everybody will follow that path. People are just looking for an excuse to do something that is sinful, because doing something sinful in this Kali Yuga, in this material world, is the easiest way. It is the path of least resistance. Soja. Easiest thing is to not do our duty. To do duty takes hard work. Is it easy to study, or is it easy to not study? And easy to study or easy to not study? Not study. You agree, Sal? But to complete our duty, complete our homework takes effort, right? It is hard work. Yeah. That's how this world is. And therefore, Krishna teaches us how to do our duty diligently. We have to do our duty diligently. To not do duty is very easy. In order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in spiritual life, there are traditional family usages meant for every civilized man. Now listen carefully. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls, Baddha Jivas, and they are not for Lord Krishna, who is Supreme Lord. But because Krishna has descended in the human society to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. Therefore, Krishna appears to be like an ordinary person. Krishna also ate. He did Vaishya Dharma, he did Kshatriya Dharma, Putra Dharma, Pati Dharma, everything Krishna did to set an example. Yeah, 24 verse Mother.
Utside yurime loka nakuryam karma tedaham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyami mahaprajaha. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings.
If Krishna did not set the right standard, the society will be in chaos. People will do whatever they want. Nobody will follow them. Now, there are two things. Please pay attention. Krishna does certain things, and we are supposed to follow that. That is one thing. And there is something called as imitating Krishna and following Krishna's instructions. Two things. Following Krishna's instructions and imitating Krishna. I'll give you an example. Once Srila Prabhupada was going on a flight and Prabhupada was having some indigestion. Imagine, different cooks are cooking for Prabhupada. Every city, every temple, Prabhupada goes, somebody else is cooking. Jab hath badalta hai cooking mein, the taste, everything changes, right? When His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj comes, he loves to eat prasadam cooked by our Revati Mata. She cooks so nicely because Maharaj has some health restrictions because of blood pressure and everything. So doesn't use salt in the food, correct? Very little sodium. So Mataji cooks superb. So anyway, Prabhupada would go to different places and there are different cooks. Some are better than the others. So Prabhupada, and different time zones also. So imagine 75, 76-year-old man traveling all over the world, different time zones. So Prabhupada was having indigestion on the flight. So Prabhupada told Shamsundar Prabhu, I'm having indigestion. Is there Eno? In India, those who have grown up in India, we know what is Eno. It's antacid. Just drink it, it helps with acidity. So Prabhupada asked, is there some Eno? Shamsundar Prabhu said, Eno nahi hai, but we have the equivalent of that. Prabhupada said, what is that? He said, 7-Up. Prabhupada said, what is 7-Up? He said, it is Eno, it is like Eno only. So will you like to have Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada thought in America, Eno is called 7-Up. So the air hostess ko pucha, and then air hostess brought some 7-Up. And Prabhupada drank 7-Up. He burped, and Shamsundar said, are you feeling better, Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, yeah, I think I'm feeling better now. This is good. Then Prabhupada landed from the airport. Shamsundar Prabhu was talking to the temple that we have reached, landed, and the ISKCON grapevine. Prabhupada said 7-Up is bona fide. It is said, by the time Prabhupada reached the temple, there was a pile of 7-Up outside. All the devotees were drinking 7-Up as if it is Charanamrit. The point is, people are just waiting to find, some loophole to enjoy. So here it is said that the Lord is the father of all living entities. So Krishna says in the verse 24, that if I did not perform my duties, the world would be ruined. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the Lord, now this is very sweet, please pay attention. Everybody listen, okay? Prabhupada says something very sweet. Lord Krishna is the father of all living entities. Pita aham asya jagatam. Lord Krishna is the father of all living entities. And if the living entities are misguided, indirectly the responsibility goes to the father, to the Lord. So sweet. So, suppose some child is not behaving properly, people will say, parents ne upbringing nahi diya theek se. Parents have not given a proper upbringing. Kiska bachcha? And they will give. So similarly, Prabhupada is saying that we are all Krishna's children. If people are misbehaving in society, indirectly the blame goes to Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna comes, he establishes the proper standards. How sweet is that? Prabhupada's vision. Therefore, whenever there is general disregard of regulative principles, Lord Krishna himself descends and corrects the society. Therefore, Krishna says, Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yoge. Now here Prabhupada says something very important. Listen carefully. We should, however, note carefully that although we have to follow in the footsteps of the Lord, we have to follow in the footsteps of Lord Krishna, we still have to remember that we cannot imitate Krishna. Following Krishna and imitating Krishna are not on the same level. We cannot imitate Lord Krishna lifting Govardhan hill. Beta, how old are you? Huh? Yeah. 10. You remember when you were 7 years old? You were smaller, right? Than what you are now. When Krishna was 7 years old, how many fingers do you have? 5 fingers? Show me your 5 fingers. which is the weakest finger? Your pinky, right? You are right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed. Even Krishna is right-handed. So out of your 10 fingers, if you are right-handed, which is the weakest finger? Haribol, give her a big hand. Wonderful. Yes, your left pinky is the weakest. Krishna lifted up a huge mountain, a mountain bigger than the subdivision. It's almost 22 kilometers in circumference. Krishna lifted that mountain on the tip of his left pinky finger. Have you seen those weightlifters? Wow. Lift up, weight. They hold it for a few seconds and then drop it down, right? They feel strong. Krishna lifted for 7 days and 7 nights. And not in a controlled Olympic environment where there are cameras, there's powder on the hand, and everything is air conditioned. Indra was trying to blow away Govardhan with thunderstorms and rain and hailstorm and wind, and nothing happened. Krishna was just holding up Govardhan on the tip of his left pinky. Isn't that great? Can we do that? Okay, forget Govardhan. Can we keep our hand like this for 7 days and 7 nights? No, right? That means we should not imitate Krishna, because Krishna is God and we are simply his devotees. So we should not imitate Krishna, but we should follow Krishna's instructions. So there are two things: to imitate Krishna and to follow Krishna. What should we do? Follow Krishna. We should not imitate Krishna. Then Prabhupada gives an example of Lord Shiva. I'm going to read that. Very beautiful. We should always consider, this is the last paragraph, we should also always consider the position of the Ishwaras, or those who are actually in control. Without such power, one cannot imitate the Ishwaras, who are super powerful. Lord Shiva drank poison, Alakut poison, to the extent of swallowing an ocean. But if any common man tries to drink even a fragment of such poison, he will be killed. There are many pseudo devotees of Lord Shiva who want to indulge in smoking ganja, into bracket marijuana, and similar intoxicating drugs, forgetting that by so imitating the acts of Lord Shiva, they are calling death very near. Similarly, there are some pseudo devotees of Lord Krishna who prefer to imitate Lord Krishna in his Rasa Leela, or the dance of divine love, forgetting their inability to lift Govardhan hill. Krishna had Rasa Leela when he was 8 years old. But 1 year before, 7 years old, he did the Govardhan Dharan Leela. So before going to Rasa Leela, first we have to kill Putana, Trinavarta, Shakatasur, Bakasur. So let's go meet Taliban first. Before claiming to be Krishna, let's go to the places where the terrorists are, finish off all the terrorists like Krishna did, and then talk about lifting Govardhan, and then talk about Rasa Leela. Like that. So we should not imitate Krishna. Krishna is Krishna. It is best, therefore, that one not try to imitate the powerful, but simply follow their instructions. Nor should one try to occupy the posts without qualification. There are so many so-called incarnations of God without the power of the Supreme Godhead. So people who claim to be God, they are bogus. We don't believe, because for someone to be God, first of all, they have to be mentioned in the Shastra, and then they have to do uncommon things like lifting up Govardhan, showing the universal form in the mouth, all those things. Otherwise, one cannot claim to be God. Last verse, verse 25.
Sattaha karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvams tatha sattash chikirshur loka sangraham. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path.
So Krishna is saying that just like people who are not into Krishna consciousness and they perform work with great attachment. I am a self-made man. I came to America with nothing. Now I have got beautiful home, I have got beautiful cars and vacation homes and so many things. I know one physician colleague at Piedmont. His aim is to see 100 countries, vacations, 100 countries. So every year he covers, like every quarter he goes. He just came back from Iceland and he was telling me, oh, it's mind-blowing, Iceland. So, he wants to do 100, I was saying 108. He wants to do 100 countries. 100 countries. So people in this world are very attached. It is okay. They are very attached. But Krishna is saying that just like these people are attached, so what can we learn from this physician colleague of mine who wants to visit 100 countries? We should think 108 times I want to go to Vrindavan in this life. So I have only maybe 30 years more, maybe less, I don't know. I'm already 43. So that means every year, how many times? I have to go at least 3 times. Or at least I will spend 108 days in Vrindavan. So every year, at least go for 4-5 days, 1 week to Vrindavan. Is that okay, Mathiri? Good. So we can learn from them. So Krishna is saying that just like ignorant people perform their actions with attachment, we should perform action with detachment. In Padyavali, Srila Rupa Goswami writes a very beautiful verse. Just like a miser puts the money very carefully. Every time they will check that, how's the market? How's the cryptocurrency market? Is it up? Is it down? What is called Dow? Dow Jones. Is it up, down? Keep an eye. So they're seeing how much money is in the saving, how their 401k is doing, how their checking account, everything they keep looking and they're counting and they increase their wealth by all means. Rupa Goswami says, similarly, we should be greedy, calculative about our Nam Bhajan. You have 5 minutes to do some time pass. No, I can chant so many Mahamantras in 5 minutes. Sorry, I don't have time. We should be greedy like that. Any time we get, we should chant. Try to get maximum account in our account, Nam account, Bank of Holy Name. We should get maximum in our account by chanting. So Krishna is saying, just like the ignorant people do their work with attachment, we should do our work with detachment, or we should do our work without attachment. That is what this verse says. And why we should do? For the sake of leading people in the right path. Purport is superb. I'm going to read the whole purport, a small purport, then we'll stop. Srila Prabhupada says, a person in Krishna consciousness and a person not in Krishna consciousness are differentiated by different desires. Think about this. What is the difference between a devotee and non-devotee? The desire. Devotee का क्या desire होता है? Mama janmani janmanishwara bhavatat bhakti rahita. And non-devotees' desires are dhanam, janam, sundarim. They want to become famous. Kanaka, Kamini, Kirti. 3 Ks. Kirti means fame. They want to become famous, well-known, well-respected. Kanaka means money, gold. And Kamini means they want to have a beautiful partner and enjoy life. Kanaka, Kamini, Kirti. 3 types of enjoyments are there for materialist people. And for the devotee, what do we want? Radha Krishna Seva Pao, Hey Abhilashi. A devotee just wants to serve Radha and Krishna. So Prabhupada says, a person in Krishna consciousness and a person not in Krishna consciousness are differentiated by different desires. So what do we have to watch in our heart? Divya Mata is looking at her watch. I said, what do we have to watch in our heart? We have to watch our desires. We have to watch our desires. That is an important thing. A Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not conducive to development of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means, you can note down this point. What Prabhupada is saying. Srila Rupa Goswami writes, Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. We should do things that are favorable for bhakti. And we should give up things that are unfavorable for bhakti. Now, Sal, tell me, chanting Hare Krishna, is it good for our bhakti? Is it good for our devotion or bad for our devotion? Good. Ayansh, the focus is on you now. telling lies, is it good for our bhakti or is it bad for our bhakti? Okay. Now it's your turn. But can you tell me your name? I forgot your name. Mama told me your name, but I forgot. Can you tell me, remind me your name? Shreya. Shreya. Shreya or Shreya? Shreya. Shreya. Stealing other people's things. Is it good for Krishna consciousness or is it bad for Krishna consciousness? Reading stories about Krishna from the Krishna book, is that good for Krishna consciousness or bad? It's good, right? Okay. What's your son's name? Shravan. Shravan. Doing Shravan of Srimad Bhagavatam is good for Krishna consciousness or bad? Huh? It's good? Yeah. That's why your name is Shravan. Shravan means to hear attentively. Very nice name. You know, Shravan is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam as one of the 9 limbs of bhakti. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhijana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasa Abhilashare. Which canto this verse is? Dharanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Marchanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. 7th canto, okay? So your homework, Shravan, is you have to tell your mother to find out these 2 verses from this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I want you to read this verse and the purport to this verse from 7th canto. Your name is there. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. And the purport is very long. It will take you 1 week to read. So by next Friday, you read that purport and come, okay? And you memorize this verse. It has the name of Vishnu also. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. This is your homework. Shravan. You read this verse and next time you explain to us in short what it means. Okay? Okay, good. So you said that doing Shravan of Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna Katha is good for bhakti, right? How about spending hours and hours playing video game? Is that good for Krishna consciousness or bad? Why? Oh, but it's fun. I like it. But why should I do anything for Krishna? I have not even seen Krishna. Good, good, good. Yes, people will argue like that. But I have not seen Joe Biden either. I have not seen Narendra Modi either. Okay. So, this is the difference, that we do what is favorable for bhakti and we give up what is unfavorable for bhakti. So, Sal, now you are in a situation where you are wondering, should I do this or should I not do this? How will you decide? By using this principle that we learned from Bhagavad Gītā today, we have to ask ourselves a simple question. Is this particular thing good for my Krishna consciousness or is it harmful for my Krishna consciousness? So every time you are in a dilemma, whether I should do this, whether I should not do this, how will you decide whether you should do it or not? Yeah, you'll ask yourself a question. Is this good for my Krishna consciousness or is it not good? If it is going to take me away from Krishna, who is my best friend, who is my ever well-wisher, then I will not do that because it will spoil my relationship with Krishna. But if something is going to help deepen my relationship with Krishna, come closer to Krishna, then I will do it. So always question yourself. Is this good for my Shravan? Anything, anytime you're in dilemma, should I do this? Should I not do this? Mama is not there to ask. On the spot, you have to decide. Simple formula. Just ask yourself, is this good for my Krishna consciousness or is this bad for my Krishna consciousness? If this is harmful, we don't do it. Shreya, you got it? Now you know how to make right choices, right? Good. Ayansh? Sia. Say Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe. It's good for Krishna consciousness. Krishna will come running if you say Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna. Okay, good. So that's a good lesson for all of us, right? Okay. He may even act exactly like the ignorant person who is too much attached to material activities. But one is engaged in such activities for the satisfaction of his sense gratification, whereas the other, who is a devotee, is engaged in the activities for the satisfaction of Krishna. So materialistic person will do these things for themselves, like you said, Sal, and like you said, Shravan. A materialistic person does these things for themselves. A devotee does things for Krishna, to please Krishna. And what happens, because we are related to Krishna eternally, in Bhagavad Gītā, Krishna says we are all parts of Krishna. So if we do something for Krishna, we also feel pleasure. Like if you do deity worship someday, or you do nice kirtan, you're doing it for Krishna, but we feel happiness because we have a relationship with Krishna. I'll give you an example. Let's say I've got a boil on my leg. It's infected. And I go to Dr. Shravan. And I say, Dr. Shravan, can you please treat this abscess? How will you treat the infection, Shravan? You clean it, okay? And will you prescribe some antibiotic also? Because it's infected. Okay, so I go to the pharmacy, I take a prescription, I go to the pharmacy, I fill the prescription, I bring the antibiotic and I show you. Doc, Dr. Shravan, you gave this antibiotic, I bought it. Now, what do I do with this? Should I crush it and put it on the abscess? What do I do? I have to eat it? Oh, but the problem is not here. The problem is here. Can I put the tablet here? Why should I put it in my mouth? What has my mouth got to do with my knee? I fell on my knee and I've got an abscess there now, infection. Huh? It'll help, but I don't need entire body. I need help here. Sal, can you help Shravan? Help him out. He's got a difficult patient. Maithili? Why not put the tablet there? There is a connection between the knee and the stomach. They are part of one system. You put the medicine in the stomach, it's going to get absorbed and it's going to go there where the infection is. And it's going to destroy the infection and heal the infection, heal the abscess. Similarly, when we do something for Krishna, Krishna is like the stomach. When you feed Krishna, we also feel happy. When we do something for Krishna, we also feel happy because we are connected to Krishna. Mama amsha jiva loka jiva buddha sanatana. Bhagavad Gītā, Krishna says that all of us, we are parts of Krishna. So if we give the whole, that is Krishna, everything is included in Krishna. So we also get the benefit. Understand? So remember this example. You feed the stomach, the whole body gets nourished. Similarly, when you do something for Krishna, we also feel happy because we are part of Krishna. Okay? Just like the knee is connected to the stomach, the whole body is connected. Krishna is the whole, and we are one part. But when we give it to Krishna, we also receive it. The last sentence. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person is required to show the people how to act and how to engage the actions, the result of actions for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. So, my dear friends, what is our duty in this society? Our duty in the society is to be good citizens. And we do everything. We may be working in IT, we may be a housewife, we may be an engineer, whatever our profession is. We do it nicely to set an example in society, how a Krishna conscious person lives. We also get the same salary that others get, but we use our money for Krishna. That's what Prabhupada says. Engaging the results of action for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. It's a Friday evening. Many options are there. We can go for a movie, we can go for so many things. But we chose to come here. Why? because we want to hear what Krishna has said. We want to discuss amongst each other and apply it in our life. Because this will make Krishna happy, and Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. By making Krishna happy, we also will become happy. Now let us do some kirtan. Let's chant the name of Krishna. Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name. Sal, if you're hungry and you tell Mama, Mama, I'm hungry. Mama says, okay, I will write Sal and I will offer food to Sal. Will that feed you? No, right? She has to feed you. Then you'll be happy. Then you'll be satisfied. Because there's a difference between your name and you. There's a difference between my name and me. But Krishna is different, in the sense that there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name. So whether we meet Krishna in person or we just chant Hare Krishna, it's the same thing. So now we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Anybody can chant this mantra. There are no rules and regulations. You don't have to be initiated. Anybody can chant. So let us chant, and it is all powerful. It purifies our heart and it brings us closer to Radha and Krishna. So let us chant now. Take 5 minutes we'll do kirtan, and then there is prasad. Okay? Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Dadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Dadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivas Ādi Gadādhara Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gītā. Jai Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Jai Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dāsa Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dāsa Raghunath. Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva. Adera Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva. Janame Mori Ei Abhilash. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Sai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Sai Gaura Hari Bol. कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर हरि बोल. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we'll quickly go around and take reflections like we normally do. We'll start with Chaitanya Nityananda. We'll go counterclockwise. So be ready. Just one thing, one reflection that you will take home, something that you would like to apply in your life, or something that you liked.
So we should also do our activities very nicely so that others do not think that he's Krishna conscious, who is not doing his duty properly.
Fantastic. Chaitanya Nitya Prabhu is saying we should do our work very nicely We should not give a chance to people in general to point fingers at Krishna. You know, they are devotees of Krishna and they are lazy, but they are incompetent. No. Among the archers, Arjun was the best archer and he was a devotee of Krishna. Mahajanayana Gatha, to follow such great examples like Arjun, Janak Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay? Sal. Something that we should do what is our duty. We should do our duty properly. Yes. Karmanyeva adhikarastu. We have the adhikar to do our duty. We have to do our karma nicely. Good point. Shriya. Do you imitate your brother? Maybe, yeah. All siblings, kids, they follow their elder sibling. I used to imitate my brother, but I could never because he was very intelligent. Top of the class. I used to be at the bottom of my class. Good. So we should do what? That is such a great take-home message. We should not imitate Krishna because Krishna is God. We can never imitate him, but we should follow Krishna's instructions like Bhagavad Gītā. Excellent point. I loved your point, Shreya. Thank you. Yes, Revati Mataji.
Do your duties in a perfect way and don't expect any results.
Very nice.
Oftentimes I get depressed actually. I'm doing this, like why it is coming to me. I have to work on it.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful reflection that we should do our best, but we should leave the results to Krishna. It's not in our hand. Very nice. Shravan, what did you do, Shravan, today that you liked?
You should do things that not only help yourself, but help Krishna, but people and inspire them to do Krishna.
Very nice. We should do our work in such a way that people feel inspired to take to Krishna consciousness. And nobody can blame Krishna because of our incompetence. Very nice. Yes, Divya Mataji.
How is it about
I am only used to seeing you here and seeing your hand at the end of the class. Sorry, yesterday I couldn't get to you. I had to give the chance to the Bhakti Vaibhav students first. So, sorry.
The question I was asking was already asked by one of the.
Okay, good.
I got my answer.
Okay, good. Sorry, I felt bad I couldn't get to you yesterday.
I know. I got my answer. I got my answer.
Okay, good. Okay, so what's some message for us today that you like?
There's one basic message that I like, we do our duties, but we don't, deserve to give to Krishna. We try our best. And
Yes.
we don't get depressed. The results are not as per what
It's not in our
in our hands.
domain, yeah.
How
Good.
do we justify it, Prabhu? I mean, like, I wish my best, but, sometimes I get depressed. I mean, like, why it is coming to me, right? I do understand that I do not expect the result. I do mostly with my kid, like, I study with him. If he is not expecting the grade he is getting, like, I feel more depressed than him actually, like, my kid has done. He has put his effort, right? Why he is not getting? It is just an example I'm telling. In office also, you have so many things. But how do I convince? I mean, like, I'm convinced, but at times I won't. I mean, like, I feel depressed. That's the answer.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your candor. Srila Prabhupada called our society International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which means we have to be conscious of Krishna. We should be able to see Krishna in everything in life. So let's say there is an exam, the example that you gave. Our vision is that this is between me and the examiner, me and the school, me and the university. We forget Krishna. Actually, the university is not giving the grade. It is our Krishna. You are Laddu Gopal who is sitting on your altar, who you are feeding every day, who you are bathing every day, who you are dressing every day, whose name you are chanting 16 rounds at least every day. That Krishna is giving the result. When we have that vision, we accept it. A servant will be given a salary by the master The servant, good servant will just accept it if he has faith in the master. This is what I deserve and I have faith in. This is enough for me. Like that. But the servant will do the job to the best of his or her ability. A good servant, correct? A good worker will do the best, but has faith in the boss that whatever you feel is best, you give me that salary, I'll be happy. Like Ishan, who was a servant of Shachi Mata and Vishnu Priya Devi. All his life he served them without expecting anything. There was no salary, just serving. Then Shachi Mata went to the spiritual world. Then Vishnu Priya Devi was there. And she was much younger than Ishan. And he kept serving her. And then Vishnu Priya Devi, who was very old now she was going to go to Vaikuntha. And Ishan never had any salary. Before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he manifested from his own heart his own deity called Dhameshwar Mahadev. And he gave it to Vishnu Priya Devi, his 16-year-old wife, and said, you worship me in the form of this deity. I am this deity. I am not different. And all her life, Vishnu Priya Devi, from the age of 16 to the age of 90, she worshipped that deity of Dhameshwar Mahadev. And when she was going to go back to Vaikuntha, she gave that deity, who had been bathed by the tears of love of Vishnu Priya Devi. She used to chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, take one grain of rice and keep it aside. From sunrise to sunset, she would chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then she would have a little few grains of rice there. And she would cook it at night and offer it to her Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deity. And then she would distribute the prasad. Eat little bit herself. That Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu deity, Shri Vishnu Priya Devi, gave to Ishan. After a lifetime of service, that is the gift he got. But such a priceless gift. You know? But he was satisfied with serving them. A good servant is always satisfied serving. So our satisfaction should be our service, our work. What grades we get, whether our boss at the job appreciates us, not appreciates us. We should see Krishna's hand. That Krishna is giving me this result. Now, if we see Krishna's hand, then we are satisfied. We will not argue with Krishna. Okay, Krishna, this is what you have given me. Thank you. You have given me so much. I was in ignorance. You gave me Krishna consciousness. You gave me your bhakti. You are giving me the opportunity to serve you. You are giving me the association of your wonderful devotees like Priti Vilasini Mataji and others. So we have so much gratitude for Krishna. When we see Krishna has done that, then we don't complain. So Krishna consciousness means in everything in life, you have to see Krishna's hand. These grades are given by Krishna. My job also, whatever feedback I'm getting from my boss, it is Krishna is giving that. We should try to do our best, but result is to Krishna. Krishna is giving result. So when we don't see Krishna's hand in things that happen in our life, then we get frustrated. We get depressed. But when you see Krishna, there is no question of depression. Oh, this is my Krishna has given. This is best for me. Krishna can give us a red sari. Krishna can give us a blue sari. Krishna can give a yellow sari. You know? We'll happily take it. It's Krishna Prasad. So this is also Krishna Prasad. Everything is that. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gītā. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. One who sees me in everything and sees everything in me, for him I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. That is Bhagavad Gītā. So just see Krishna's hand. Then you will not feel depressed. Because Krishna is Ananda Murti. Satchid Ananda Vigraha. He is Ananda Vigraha. You will feel happy. This is why Krishna is doing this. All these results are temporary. The ultimate test we want to pass, exam we want to pass, is death, the final exam. Then we want to go to Krishna. We want to close our eyes here and open our eyes and go open. Once in Radha Gopinath Mandir in Bombay, His Holiness Devamrit Swami Maharaj was asked a question by one Mataji that I get very angry. Sometimes I get really angry with my kids, especially when they don't listen. Sometimes then I feel guilty. So what to do, Maharaj? Maharaj just closed his eyes. He said, the dirty city of Mumbai. It's a small speck on the map of India, which is a small speck on this earth planet, which is a very small planet in this whole universe. There are millions of such planets, and there are millions of such universes. But beyond all this material creation, there's the spiritual sky. And there are millions and millions and millions and millions of Vaikuntha planets there. But beyond all those planets, there's a supreme planet, Golok Vrindavan, where under a Kalpavriksha tree on the banks of Yamuna, Srimati Radharani is sitting with Krishna. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada, Srimad Ratnakara Simhasanastha, Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo, Preshtalivi Sevyamano Smarami. I remember Radha and Krishna being served by their beloved Manjaris and Sakhis. They are serving Radha and Krishna. Preshtalivi, loving devotees are serving, Sakhis and Manjaris are serving there eternally Radha and Krishna in the blissful land of Golok Vrindavan. You want to go there? And that mother said, yes, yes, Maharaj, I want to go there. Maharaj said, then don't get angry. You have to see Krishna. Okay? Krishna is our goal. Hare Krishna. You spoke. Huh? Hare Krishna. Just repeating the words of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
So, two things.
You can do three things also.
Is Arjuna fought the war just because Krishna told him to do so, and that's kind of, that's what I.
Correct.
And second one is be fearful of the desire, because if the desire is favorable in the bhakti, then it's good. It's Krishna conscious. Desires which are not favorable, let them go.
Yeah, let them go. They're harmful for us. Very nice point. We have to watch our desires, and Karma Yoga means to do that will please Krishna, for Krishna's sake. Ayansh. Very nice. Very nice. You have got this nice sutra. Eating ice cream is good or bad? What if it is prasad? Ah, very good, very good. Haribol. See ya. Radhe Radhe. You learned Radhe Radhe. Very good. Okay, Ananga Sundari Mataji.
To me also the point that stood out was watching our desires and attachments, because that's what would differentiate what we used to be and what we're going to be. Otherwise, externally, we're doing the same things.
The process difference is between a devotee and non-devotee, the desires. Non-devotee is doing for himself or herself. Devotee is doing for Krishna. Yes. Mithleshwari Mataji. Thank you for hosting all of us, week after week. Janak Maharaj, from where? From Mithila? Yes, Mithleshwari Mataji, please go ahead. From where he went? From Mithila, okay. Sorry. Okay. So when he went to Yamlok?
The souls which were in the are getting liberated from this spiritual world. And also, when Jinan Maharaj said that just like the one name that I remember this morning, I'm giving the results of that name to these, and then suddenly like all disappears. So how the power of one name is.
Yeah.
It's so much to so giving that.
Yes. So from tomorrow when we wake up, we should also do Hare Krishna. Very good. Parama Karuna Prabhu Dui Jana. Huh? हो गया आपका? अरे हाँ, you started with you Chaitanya Nataya. Okay, sorry. So now let's end After Mithleshwari Mataji, let's end with Maithili. Om.
Practicing meditation, you can follow the lead, then ultimately you have to take it seriously and also when you're doing this, you should think whether it is not and whether
Very nice. So we should set the right example because yad yad acharati shreshta tatta devetara jana. So you are my shreshta because you can play mridanga, I cannot play mridanga. So now keep the mridanga on the carpet, otherwise I'll also keep it there. So you have to teach me proper things. So keep the mridanga there, good. Not on the floor. Very nice. So we should set the right example and we should always ask ourselves, is this conducive for Krishna consciousness or this is detrimental to my Krishna consciousness? If it is conducive, we do it. If it's detrimental, we don't do it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So everybody has spoken. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Bhagavad Gītā ji ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Hari.